Hello everyone, just on the next set of questions. So what is wall space, local space, screen space? So in Unity, um, it's basically a screen, right? But when you play the game, it's actually in 3D. Like you feel that you are inside a 3D world environment. So um, this is where the difference comes in. The screen space is actually the 2D coordinates of your mouse, because no matter what you design, how big of a 3D game you design, it's ultimately just a flat screen on which you are made to believe that um, it's 3D, correct? So screen space is just the the 2D coordinates of your mouse that's on the screen right now, and world space is actually the 3D coordinates um, in that world or in the game that you are making, because you'll have three coordinates: x, y, z. um, the actual 3D coordinates in that world that is represented by our screen space. So that space is actually the world space. And local space is the position of any object um, that is relative to any other object. So, for example, if you have a parent-child hierarchy here like this, um, and this child object is positioned relative to the parent object, okay? Uh, because this position can be, like, the parent object's position can be in world space, but the child object will always be in a position that is relative to the parent object. Like here you can see the parent object is actually the canvas, and the text is actually the child object, which is relative to the parent object. So that's the local space. Name at least three expensive methods of Unity that every developer should avoid with reason. Um, so there are quite a few expensive methods. Of course, developers should avoid, but they are there, and at times you might not be able to discard. I mean, you might not be able to just not use them, and you probably will have to use them. But of course, uh, you need to avoid as much as possible. Um, so one of the expensive method is invoke function with a string name of a function. Any string comparison in a scripting language is costly, and Unity is no different. You have if you write an invoke function, and if you try to just write the name of the string name of the function instead of the actual function name, then Unity has to compare strings. Like it has to go through the whole hierarchy and then compare every word of your string, every character of your string, correct? So that's an expensive method. The next one would be GameObject.find or GameObject.find objects of type, because finding game objects in Unity can be very costly, because once you use this method, what Unity does is it actually goes through or cycles through all the objects in your hierarchy or in the specific game objects components that you want, and then it tries to find for that type of object. um, so yeah, instead you can probably use game object or find object with a tag. That's slightly less costly, but costly nonetheless. And yeah, just be mindful of which math methods to use. Another one would be GameObject.instantiate, because instantiating a game object is actually loading a game object from your project into the scene, so that is very costly as well. but of course we might just need to use them at times. We just have to have a good reason to use them, and if there's an alternative method to do without them, then we should probably go that path. That's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching this video.